What's up, folks? This is Steel. Welcome to Steelcast 27 once again. And this is the Phoenix, Tier 4 American cruiser. A beast at its tier, one of my favorite ships. And I thought I'd give you a little bit of a rundown to see what this thing can and can't do in World of Warships. Now, a lot of you probably played this ship already and either loved it or hated it and moved on. If you loved it, you kept it. You're probably an expert at it by now. If you're a new player, well, welcome to World of Warships. This is a Tier 4 cruiser. It is, I think, the best cruiser at its tier. First things first, the upgrades. You have a limited choice here, but the first slot, main battery modification 1, reduces detonation by 20%. Huge. The second one, you have a little bit of leeway. I think you can get away with the propulsion mod, but I run the damage control party. And that's because I usually use this in a ranged role, like I shoot at max range. And if people are shooting back at you, they're usually shooting HE, other cruisers at least. If you get hit by a battleship and you get your engine knocked out from an AP round, well, you can just stop firing and drop spots, turn away. You do have some movement. Now let's get into the nitty gritty, the artillery. Now this has 6-inch guns, 152 millimeters, and you can't take advantage of AFT, the Tier 4 Captain perk. But I want to point out a couple things here. Look at the range, 13.7 kilometers. That's really great for its tier. The second thing I'm going to point out is the fire chance. Now this has Demolition Expert on my captain, so it's going to be 3% higher. The stock fire chance is 12%. For a 6-inch gun, that's really good. With the rate of fire this thing has at 8.6 rounds per minute per gun, you're going to be shooting a lot of rounds. Combine that with the fact that the turrets are kind of static. You don't really have any swivel turrets that go 180, so you're going to be shooting a lot. Moving on to the torpedoes. Now, don't fall in love with these things. They have very limited range, and but they can get you out of a pinch. You know, if someone's charging you or if a battleship's coming around an island. What can I say? It looks like you have some, but it really doesn't. Don't change your gameplay because of AA. Next is maneuverability. Now look at this, 35 knots. That's faster than a lot of destroyers at its tier. It's also got a pretty decent turn radius and a pretty decent rudder shift time. It's not going to be a problem. But if you do spot a destroyer and it's safe to pursue them, they're not going to get away. You basically just got them. Finally, concealment, 13.1 clicks. That's not good. But the good news is you're going to be firing at max range anyway. So they're going to be spotting you either way. It doesn't matter. Just keep those guns active. So that's the Phoenix right there. All the stats you need. Let's take this thing into a training room for an armor-piercing round test for those situations where it's either you or him. What a wonderful day for a training room. The sun's bright, everything's great, everything's hunky-dory. 13.7 clicks. I'm going to do a standard test here. I'm going to do a complete 360-degree turn to see how many rounds I can get off. That's 5 right there. I think with the static guns on this thing, turning in circles is not going to hurt you. That's 10. And the reason why is because it has static guns on both sides. You can see the gun layout. It's 15. There, we set a fire already. HE is where you want to go at this range. Now, when you're going away from a target, you're only going to be shooting, that's 4. So that's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. The guns are staggered at this point. 19, 22. Set another fire. It's 24, 25. So you're getting a lot of rounds out. Look at all those rounds. I think we're at like 28, 29. So we're getting upwards of 30 rounds out. Complete hard maneuver, and that's really hard to do. 35, around 35, 36, and we're completing the turn. Man, that's close to 40 rounds out on target at max range in a complete 360. And that's actually kind of incredible, and that's a real strength of this ship. You should take advantage of that. All right, next I'm going to close some range and do some AP tests on some battleships and some contemporary cruisers and see what this thing can do in close quarters. Okay, here we have it, Karlsruhe or Karlsruhe. Someone please correct me on that. Make sure to in the comments. And I'm shooting AP right at its nose. This rounds are kind of inaccurate. I was kind of surprised by that. They kind of look like secondary guns a little bit, but they are actually the main battery. And if I could register some hits, I'd actually have a good test here. But I guess it just goes to show that it's not really. This is kind of a scatter gun here. There, I got some hits. Those are decent pens. Nothing spectacular. I think I found that the Karlsruhe is really hard to citadel, and you're about to see that. I'm getting a bunch of .33 AP pens. Not much else from that. We're moving into a broadside position here, kind of angled still. I'm shooting waterline. If these rounds could actually cooperate, it'd be nice. But yeah, no citadels, but I'm getting some decent .33s. Yeah, nothing. Look at that. Nothing. No sits underneath the smokestacks. Where is your citadel? Where is it? Nothing. But .33s. At this range with the Karlsruhe, I would probably just keep shooting HE. There, citadel. It has to be right at the water line at a perfect shot. Now let's move on to the Wyoming. I don't expect any fireworks on this. Just a bunch of bounces, really. At the nose, nothing. Turrets. Wow, there's a couple pens right underneath the turret there. That's not bad. There's some more pens. There's a overpen, I think. Not bad, not bad. But you're going to see that this Wyoming is tough, close range. Look at that belt. Now the belt is not where you want to shoot at this range. Just showing you why. You get nothing from it. Absolutely nothing. And there's some unarmored parts in the front and the back. But I'm going to test the superstructure real quick. The problem with this is at this range you're going to be overpenning the superstructure. So you really have to aim at that one sliver of space right above the belt, right below the superstructure to get anything significant with AP. And to be honest with you, from what I'm seeing, I wouldn't be shooting AP at this range, even at a battleship. Now, that's not going to happen. That's not going to stay that way for cruisers moving forward as you go down the lines. But in this specific instance, it looks like HE is the way to go. Yeah, you really have to make a perfect shot. You have to shoot right in that spot above the belt. Perhaps below the turrets is a good spot to shoot if you're going to have to shoot AP. Right below the turrets, because the magazines and the barbettes are armored. So what you're basically doing is shooting through the side, through the casemate, hitting a barbette, and it's exploding inside. So it actually does work. All right, here we are rolling up on a Miyogi Tier 4 Japanese battleship, and it's going to be a lot of the same, a lot of nothing hits, but it doesn't look like the belt extends as high as the Wyoming's does. But if you shoot waterline, obviously you're going to get goose egged. So right above the belt, right below the superstructure. It looks like I got some decent damage in there. That's actually quite impressive. Now a bunch of overpens on the front, and I think it's going to be the same in the back. There's just nothing to stop the rounds. It just slices right through. So again, I'm gonna shoot under at the magazines under the barbettes. Some decent damage there. Nothing great. Get another round out. Some overpens. Nope, that's actually protected by the belt. Look at that. Here's the superstructure. Obviously gonna overpen through that, but I think I snuck a couple rounds in there for some decent damage. So it looks like this Miyogi is a little bit more susceptible to 6-inch AP rounds at this range, but because you get no sits and, well, actually look at that. Yeah, I would have to say that if you're going to shoot AP against a battleship, you better hope it's a Miyogi, because it looks like you're getting some decent chunks. All right, here we go. It's go time. Phoenix versus Phoenix. Who's going to win? I think a Phoenix is going to win. That's the safe bet. AP right at the nose, as usual. See what happens. Not expected. What? 2 sits right through the nose. How did that happen? Did it go over the nose? and into the hull. I guess there's 0 armor in the front, so... And maybe I probably hit the front magazine, but doesn't look like I'm getting any repeats. I don't know if it'd be worth it to shoot AP all the time, but it does look like I'm getting some really decent .33 pens. And look at his health is down so much already. It doesn't take much. Just keep pouring on the fire. And there's some more pens. I think the 6-inch guns against the Phoenix are actually quite strong. You're always going to be penning it at any angle. Wow, now there's the Citadel area. Wow, okay. That's where you want to erase the Phoenix off the map. And would you look at this, the Kuma. The debate shall continue, folks. Kuma versus Phoenix. Citadel, first salvo at the nose. Unbelievable. Let's see if I can repeat those. I don't think the Kuma can really stand up to the 6-inch guns of the Phoenix. And I plan on releasing a Phoenix video next week, and we'll see who's got the edge at close range. My money's on the Phoenix with the 6-inch guns. The Kuma just doesn't seem to be able to stop anything. And at this angle, there's another Citadel right in the nose. Look at the Kuma's health already. It's got barely any health left. Now compare that to the Phoenix a moment ago. Phoenix, I think at this point was still at half health. But yeah, and then obviously the Kuma's notorious Citadel is huge. Yeah, finished him off really quickly, actually. So next we're going to take it into a match, see how this does in real life. All right, here we go. The Phoenix. Flag waving proudly. Oh, say. Okay, I won't do that to you. I'm with Captain Crit from the Taste channel on YouTube, who just recently came out with some ship reviews of the Kuma and the Phoenix. The debate continues. One of the reasons why I chose this match in particular is because it's a tier 5 match, which shows you what the Kuma can do if given the right opportunity. And because there's some pretty airplanes coming through. Strike package! Advance! Well, that's a pretty cool looking... I got 5 wings. Now I've got a Furutaka spotted here. I'm going to drop some torps. Don't expect to hit with any of them at this range unless he drives straight into them. And you're going to find a lot of Japanese cruiser drivers. I guess they're inexperienced. They love to drop their torps. And this island, well, this island's one of their favorite spots in the game. So if you're approaching this island and you're spotted by airplanes, do not expose your broadside, because look, Phoenix, even though it's 1 tier below, can still easily Citadel.
Oh man, our Furutaka just went.
That's 2.
I mean, he got torp
I'm not going to Citadel him with AP
away
at this point, so I'm switching to HE. Look at those bounces, bouncing off the superstructure and such. But HE will do just fine. You also got to watch out for destroyers that are sneaking around, but always be prepared to turn out when you're around that corner. Be prepared for torps to be inbound, and it gives you a chance to get some evasive maneuvers going on and to get some range. Wow, now look at that, another broadside sit. Now if you can get those rounds on target and your enemy cruiser is full broadside, you can sit with 6-inch guns from 8 to 9 clicks out. Now this is where I'd have to say is the normal operating distance for a Phoenix, where you can get your maneuver on, get your guns on, and still be relatively safe. It's going to be hard for guys to hit you when you're maneuvering this hard, but you're shooting 40 rounds when doing 360-degree turns. They can't match that firepower. In retrospect, this Furutaka should have walloped me coming around that island, because I was broadside to him too. With his 8-inch guns, he could have absolutely wrecked me, I think, if he caught me in the right spot. But the Phoenix clearly won this battle, and now at this point, he does not have the turret traverse to pull these maneuvers off and effectively fight back. So this is kind of just, shooting gallery, trying to get some HE on him, try to set a fire.
Oh, come on, man.
Watch those airplanes, folks. He was spotted. I don't think I was, and that's why I got the jump on him with AP. Now Captain Crit's at the other side of the map, and he's got some hot action going on.
God damn, Tenryu. What are you doing, dude? Turn out. This is fucking death. God damn,
He's got to get his torps off, man. Tenryu's got to get their rocks off. Now, Captain, that's a record of 3 boings in a row, my friend. The Tenryu got you boinging. Anyway, this Furutaka is, he's going down. Got some help from my friends here. But I have to really give a shout out to the guys on the north side of the map for holding off the big enemy push. When this Furutaka goes down, this flank is pretty much busted. This Wyoming that comes up at the last minute was nowhere to be found when he was needed. There weren't that many ships of ours down here for him not to wallop. But this turns into a feeding fest, and we're all trying to get some hits on that destroyer, who's the only real active player of anybody that knows what he's doing. He's actually running away, which is pretty smart. The Wyoming, on the other hand, he's going to drive straight, and that's not smart.
And I was like trying to
after
get
this,
out of
it's
there, and he was
what everybody dreams of, which is feeding on carriers.
And just
not much really to show there, but this is what happens when you can make an impact.
I need to get out of here.
At that point of engagement at the south end of that island. If you can knock down some ships quickly, get them running away, you really can roll up a flank, especially if you have teammates that have a like mind. If I was going to make any comments on the Phoenix and taking out carriers, it's I give it an A+ in that regard. Look at that Bogue, just getting citadeled and setting fires on them. It's actually really tasty. You gotta love it. There's some more fires. It's unreal. So there you have it, folks. The Phoenix, Tier 4 American cruiser. Next week, I'm going to be coming out with the Kuma ship review, like I said before, and hopefully we'll be able to put the debate to rest once and for all. In the meantime, take care. Catch you next time.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Feel free to like or comment, and if you're interested in seeing more content in the future, subscribe. My live stream is currently on Twitch at the URL you can see right there. And if you're interested in even more World of Warships videos, I highly recommend The Taste. The link is down below. Thanks again.